Hello, denizens of the internet. Well, this is an emergency vlog post. I was right. I was right. Apple is not bringing out its Mac Pro until 2019. I was right. I was right, wasn't I, in this video right there? I predicted myself, and I predicted that Apple would not be bringing out the Mac Pro until 2019 because, number one, of the unexpected success of the iMac Pro, and because they had no idea what the Mac Pro was going to be like. Anyway, so this guy from TechCrunchpoo magazine was invited down to Apple to be filled with, all sorts of about Apple and about the Mac Pro, about the 2019 Mac Pro, and how it's going to be worth the wait. Anyway, so here's the article. I gotta read without my glasses here. A year ago, I visited the Apple campus in Cupertino. This is written by Matthew Panzarino. Apple campus in Cupertino to figure out where the hell the new Mac Pro was, which I even did a video about that back a year ago, predicting that this was a complete mess, that Apple had no preparation for building the Mac Pro, and even though Schiller was talking about, the team they've assembled, well, essentially they assembled the team that day, that morning. You guys, you four guys, the janitor, you come over here, you're going to be the team. The answer, it turns out, was that Apple had decided to start completely over with the Mac Pro, introduce completely new Pro products like the iMac Pro, and refresh the entire MacBook Pro lineup. The reason given at the time was on the Mac Pro was that basically Apple had painted itself into an architectural corner by being aggressively original in the design of the bullet turbine trash and toss shaped casing and internal components of the current Mac Pro. There's really nothing current about it. It's a 2013 computer. How is he calling it current? Anyway, or maybe he means those little raisin looking things. Yes, the Mac Pro is like those little raisin things, exactly, just as powerful. There was nothing to be done but start over, of course, yes. Anyway, the secondary object was to reassure Pro customers who had not had news of updates in some time that Apple was listening, was working to deliver products for them, and generally they still cared, that Apple still cared. 1 year later, I was invited back to Apple to talk to people most responsible for shepherding the renewed Pro product strategy, and what by shepherding they mean that they're walking through sheep. I think that's what they mean by shepherd. John Turnus, vice president, I'm pronouncing their names wrong, I'm sure. Hardware engineering, Tom Boger. Well, he must have gotten teased when he was in school. Senior Director of Mac Hardware Product Marketing, Judd Copeland. Director of Video Apps Product Marketing, and Xander Soren. He's got to be the bad guy. Got a Xander Soren. Oh, he has an X. He's got to be the bad guy. Director of Music Apps Product Marketing. The interviews and demos took place over several hours, highlighting the way that Apple is approaching upgradability, development of its Pro apps, and most interestingly, how it has changed its process to help it more fully grok. Oh my God, a Heinlein fan. Okay, this guy is either just read Heinlein or he's really freaking old. Grok. Okay. Yeah. How professionals actually use its products. After an initial recap of what they'd done over the past year, nothing! Including MacBooks, suck! And the iMac Pro, I like that. That's what I said in a previous video. I actually like that box. I was given the day's first piece of news. The long-awaited Mac Pro update will not arrive until 2019. They probably liquored them up. Or whatever. And then they told them, 2019. What? 2019. I didn't hear that. What did you say? And the Apple's going, we want to be transparent and communicate openly with our Pro community, so we want them to know that the Mac Pro is a 2019 product. We don't know when in 2019. It's not something for this year. In addition to transparency for Pro customers, there's also a larger fiscal reason behind it. I don't know. They've run out of cash. Apple has run out of cash, so they have to search in between the cushions to find nickels and dimes so they can afford to build the Mac Pro. That's the only thing I can think of. We know that there's a lot of customers today that are making purchase decisions on the iMac Pro, and whether or not they should wait for the Mac Pro, says Boger. Well, I mean, this is what I said earlier, that the iMac Pro has been such an unexpected success that Apple has no rush. They're not in any rush. Sorry, I had to take a break. Now I'm back. Okay, where were we? This is why Apple wants to be as explicit as possible now, so that if institutional buyers or other large customers are waiting to spend budgets on, say, on iMac Pros or other machines, they should pull the trigger without worry that a iMac Pro might appear later in the purchasing year, which means, get your iMac Pros now, because the Mac Pro won't be out for a good long time. Pro workflow team. Okay, what? Okay. In that discussion a year ago, Apple SVP Phil Schiller acknowledged that Pro customers, including developers, were hungry for evidence that Apple was paying attention to their needs. Yeah, no. I mean, they built in 2013 a Mac Pro that nobody wanted, that didn't fit anybody's real needs, and then they held on to it for way too long, and then in 2017 they had that mea culpa video where they said, oh, they blew it, and then they said they're going to have it, coming, a new Mac Pro that's going to be modular and going to be coming out, and it's not going to be out till 2019, which means they weren't listening to anybody! I mean, for God's sakes. We recognize that they want to hear more from us. I mean, that's the Pro user. So we want to communicate better with them. We want them to understand the importance that they have for us. We want them to understand that we're invested in new Macs. And we also want to make sure that you don't go after other Windows or Linux users. Please don't do it. We are going to work on a display for a modular system, Schiller said. Okay, now, so we've got some interesting words here, keywords here, buzzwords, modular system. This is not expandable system, or in the sense that I think what we would normally think of as an expandable system, which is just a box with slots. It's modular. Okay, so let's keep going here. Now, it's a year later, and Apple has created a team inside the building that houses its Pro products group. It's called the Pro Workflow Team. Pro workflow team. So that means they're dealing with urinary tract issues? We said in the meeting last year that the Pro community isn't one thing, says Turnus. It's a very diverse group of people. There are people who want a really good computer that's expandable, and there are those other people who want a really good computer that's expandable. The diversity is huge, huge. I can't believe it. There are many different types of Pros, and obviously, they'll go really deep into the hardware and software and are pushing everything to its limit. So one thing you have to do is we need to be engaged with the customers to really understand their needs. Now, we have to be engaged with the customer to really Okay. Yeah, they're figuring that out now. Because we want to provide complete Pro solutions, not just deliver big hardware, which we're doing, and we did it with the iMac Pro, but we want to look at everything holistically. Okay. To that, Turnus said that they want their architects sitting with real customers to understand their actual flow, and see, it's a urinary tract issues they're dealing with. They want to build a computer that helps urinary tract. So Apple decided to go step deeper and further and just begin hiring these creatives directly. So they're hiring creative people directly so they could be at Apple working with the new gear as it's evolving. Okay, why couldn't they do this before? They just want a box! It's all we want is a box! It's expandable! It's got lots of horsepower! This information has allowed Apple to make machines like the iMac Pro more performant. I'll have to look that up. Said Turnus, I think this is very much a situation where we want to measure twice and cut once. So now they're doing wood. They're going to make the Mac out of wood. Great. A wooden Mac. And we want to make sure we're building a really well thought out platform for what our Pro customers are doing today. Okay. Just ask us. Or just listen to my video from a year ago. While there are no further details on the exact shape that the MacPro will take, Bozier says that they're still very much in the modular mindset. Well, it's clear that from this the modular workflow thing, Apple is not even, I bet you they're going to release a computer that doesn't even have slots. I think what you're going to be doing is having a computer that you assemble together with blocks, and there'll be an eGPU, in one case, and a bunch of memory maybe in another case, and then you just attach them together through, Thunder cable or whatever it is that they call it. Thunderbirds! Oh, that'd be cool. They should rename all the different modules should be like Thunderbird 1, Thunderbird 2, Thunderbird 3. Oh, that would be awesome. That would be really good. I would buy that. Even if the computer was crappy, I'd buy that. Anyway, throughout the idea of modularity was omnipresent, which means all over the place. An iMac Pro with 2 iPad Pros hooked up to it allows the direct control, shortcuts, and live access to the Logic manual, all the while you're mixing a song in the main device with an eGPU and a MacBook Pro running a live edit of 8K stream and color grading. So this is my emergency posting because I just found out about this online, and, I think all you naysayers out there who thought I was going to be wrong... Oh, strained my neck doing that. So that's the end of my emergency broadcast from the Peter Paul Chato Emergency Broadcast Network. Beep, 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 beep. We'll see you next time.